Hey everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping with Natalie, or welcome to if you are new. Today we're going to be feeding some fondant patties today. I've done a video on this before. I think it might have been last year. And we actually did it right here. I remember it might have been this hive. I don't remember. I think this is a double nuke now, so it might have been something different. But anyways, so we've got these fondant patties here, and I've done a video on them before and just kind of reviewing them, figuring out that we really like them and the bees like them a lot. And so we're doing it again this year just to give them a little bit of a boost. I filmed a video not that long ago on doing pollen sub, and I want to do an updated video on that because I actually don't know how it ended up going. So we're going to check that later today. There might be some hives that have it on, so I guess I can check it a little bit today also. I don't really know. So still figuring out how that went, but I want to put this on just to kind of help them get a little bit stronger before winter comes, because we're getting really close, but we have crazy weather right now. It's being so stupid because it's really cold. It got really cold, and so I was like preparing myself for winter, and I was like almost excited for it, and then it got really hot, and so now it's throwing me off. It's throwing everybody off, the bees too. So we've already lost a couple hives, which has been really surprising to me. I just saw a hive that looked like they had just died, so I don't know what's going on, but hopefully it's not going to be a bad year. Last year, like the last few years actually, have had a really good outcome. But we'll see how this year goes. But anyways, basically these ones they got kind of busted open, but that doesn't mean anything. They're perfectly fine. And so all that we do here is just, I filmed a video on it once, like I said, and I had to kind of figure out how you use them. Because they've got this pretty thick like paper on them, and so you have to use some type of blade to cut it off. So that's just what I've been doing. You can see they're all a little smushed right here, but it's fine, it'll work out. I think for most of them, I don't know if I'm going to do a full on any of them. Maybe I'll do a full on some of the singles, but I don't think I'm going to do too many just because I want it to go a ways. And I think for most of, like, I'm going to do a lot of nukes today, maybe some double nukes, just to get them up and going, because those big hives really don't need it, and we want to make sure that the ones that need it are getting it first. So I think I'm going to do maybe some cut down into 3 pieces, and then maybe just cut down into 2. But let's go ahead and just open up some hives and see how they're looking. It's been a little bit since I've gotten to the hives. We've just been doing pollen patties, which is pretty quick, and you're not really in the hive that much for that. But it's really warm today, actually. I mean, it's not like, probably a month ago I would have thought it's really cold, but it's been getting colder, so days like these are really nice. I think when before we came out here, it was like maybe 60, 65, 61, I don't know, something around there. Feels like maybe it's getting up to the 70s now, I don't know. Anyways, we've always got wax everywhere. My mom loves it. I'll just like peel wax off like bird comb, and then it's always just on the lids. It's so much fun because then it melts off and it creates this big old puddle. But let's just see if these girls are even alive, honestly. I think so. They seem to be pretty active. I went up here earlier today when it was pretty cold out, and they were actually one of the only ones that were moving and out. So let's see. So we've got a decent amount in here. Okay, so I guess we'll just kind of do a little bit of an update on the pollen sub. I did want to do like a separate video on it, but I honestly think that's not going to be a long enough video. And there's of course a bee in my veil. Let's see, where'd she go? I think she flew out. Let's hope. That was fast, dude. I just got in here. I don't know how that happened. Anyways, I'm not going to do a separate video. I think we'll just do an update now because I'm already in here. So you can see right here, there's just a tiny bit of that pollen sub left. They're on it too, like they're taking it, so that's good. Good to see that they took that and decided to use it. So I didn't know. I figured they probably would, and I thought it would turn out well, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I'm feeling like opening up the hive, like getting in some frames, because it's been a while, I feel like. Looks like it might be a little bit empty out here, but let's see what's going on. There was a hive that my dad checked the other day. I think it was actually a newer queen, that it was like the latest queen that we did. And she had a really good laying pattern, which is not usual for us this time of the year. Usually they're slowing down quite a bit, and it's pretty hard to find like that eggs and larvae. They've just stopped a lot, especially after we do Apogard. They slow down quite a bit. Alright, so this is a little dry in here. Looks like they've got some stuff down in there, not a whole lot. But they still got quite a bit of room to store here. There's a decent amount of bees in here, not a ton. I don't know if we'll find any brood, but let's just take a look. Also, I always feel like it's something I should mention. I mean, just like if you want to get close, you can see all of this propolis here, like all of this right here. It drives me nuts, but it's good. But our bees have so much propolis, and it's so hard to get in and out of the hives. So the last person that told me I need to get in the weights room, it's not how heavy it is, it's just stuck half the time, okay? Usually they're pretty heavy, but a lot of times it's just the propolis getting stuck to the frames. All right, let's see if there's anything going on. Yes, I'm not seeing any brood, which is kind of what I expected. It was just really a surprise to see that that one queen was still laying, and she had a pretty good pattern going. All right, well that looks good. That's all I really wanted to see, so let's just go ahead and close it up. Yeah, it's actually pretty hot out right now. Kind of surprised. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this fondant on. I'll show you how we do it. I think there's a couple different ways people have done it. I've done it before where I've just like taken the whole thing off, like all of the paper on it, and or like the plastic, and just put that right onto the hive. But most of the time I just peel it off the top of it. So let's just do that for now. So it's like oh, that's my fault. Whoops. Got stung right there, but I accidentally smushed her. Anyway, so it's literally just like a fondant here. It's a little thick. It gives a lot like pollen sub. But we just take a blade and usually cut it off. I think I actually might, I said I wasn't going to do a full, but I feel like we should just do a full anyway, so let's just try that out. So some people will just like tear a couple slits and stuff. I'm just going to, it's super easy to cut. I just make a big old square right here. There was a video somewhere on a tutorial, or maybe I'm crazy, but I thought I watched something on how people like open it. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out some of these fondant patties. Let's see if I can peel this off or not. So usually you can just cut that big old square and then peel off. Yeah, so just like that, it peels off really easily. It doesn't leave much on the sticker, or the plastic, I guess. All right, and then that's it. And so usually, it does leave a little bit of trash, but it's okay. So usually I'll just lay this on top and they'll get like on top of it. I think I've done it maybe a couple times, just laid it directly on top of the hive, like the actual fondant part of it. But I think I'm gonna put the plastic down and see how that goes, because that's what we do with our pollen patties. I mean, that's what I did here, and they seem to do perfectly fine with it. Now, it does seem like a pretty thick stuff, so they don't usually take it out. I think that's a lot, but you know what? We're just gonna do it and go for it, because they still got some room that they need to build up in there. So let's see if that kind of helps them out a little bit. Now, I do usually come back and take off the plastic if I have time to, just because they don't usually take it out. But like with this pollen sub, it's just paper. They take that out like really easily. But I mean, that's really it. Let me just put the lid back on. And, well, maybe. Oh, let me just shake them off. They love that. There's a lot of burr comb right here, so it won't shut unless, now if you can see, like this lid right here has kind of like a divider, so that'll help a lot with it. But it still might not be thick enough. I don't know. I should have taken the burr comb off of that too. You can put a feeder shim on this, but we really don't have any feeder shims. And if we do, I have no idea where they are. So they might be over there, but for now, let's just see how this works. A little bit of comb down here. I'm just gonna take this off. All right, so I kind of spilled a bunch of bees on it when I knocked all of them off, but I mean, you can see they're already on it, especially like right here. I mean, they're getting to it, so that's good. They really do tend to like this stuff so far, from what I've seen. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's see if the lid closes now. Should be able to get to it. I thought it would be perfect, but yeah, that works. I think that should give them plenty of room, and then the more that they get to it, the lower it'll get. All right, I think that's pretty much it. So I think I'm gonna do a couple of them, just cutting them like maybe 2 or 3 times on some smaller hives, and that's really all we're doing today. It does have like instructions on it if you want to check that out also. But yeah, that's kind of just what we're doing today. We've been feeding a lot lately, just getting them built up for winter. They've been everywhere. They seem to just be looking for food anywhere that they can find it. So I've had a little bit of problems with that, just everywhere in the house. Everybody loves that. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. And thanks for watching today's video. Follow along for more bee adventures and be here next time on Beekeeping with Natalie.